It took him 15 years to grow on Vince McMahon. But tonight, the Destroyer, Samoa Joe, finally makes his Monday Night Raw debut. Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel after a successful Royal Rumble weekend full of coverage. I want to thank everybody that came out and supported my channel and all the videos that I gave you guys all weekend long, with the Royal Rumble 2017 review and results video being one of the most popular, one of the most well-received videos I have ever done on this channel, eclipsing over 3,300 likes on YouTube.com, man. Thank you guys so much for that, and it's still growing. And everybody that has subscribed to the channel based off that video, I want to thank you for being here. And this is definitely going to be a place that you're going to come back to week after week for not only the news and rumors covering WWE, but for an opinion that is no bullshit, that's not going to sugarcoat anything, and that's going to tell it to you like it should be as it concerns the WWE product, man. So thank you to everybody that has supported me all weekend. The show tonight's going to be brought to you, as always, by Audible. If you guys want to try out their service free for 30 days, man. Let's end the month strong here with Audible, being that I've only been partnered with them for about 2 weeks. You guys are absolutely fucking killing it. Available on iPhone and Android, Audible.com is offering you 30 days free trial of the service. That includes one free audio book of your choice. Tons of wrestling books on there. Over 180,000 books to choose from. All you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript, and you're going to be able to get one free audio book courtesy of Audible and my podcast, Off the Script, man. So make sure you guys end the month strong here for the channel. That's audibletrial.com/offthescript, and I want to thank them for sponsoring not only Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, but Off the Script every single weekend. If you guys missed my Royal Rumble review, that is live as always. That is linked in the annotation that you see on the screen right now in front of you in this particular video. If you guys missed the podcast, one of the biggest Off the Scripts ever, that is on the channel as well. Links will be in the description, as well as an annotation on the screen that you see in front of you. And the latest Resident Evil 7 video is live on the channel right now as I fight the first major boss within the single-player campaign, if you guys want to go and check that out. I am very pleased. It took us 3 hours to get one fucking segment that I actually enjoyed. Good on Monday Night Raw for giving me something that made me jump out of my seat legitimately for the first time in a very, very long time on this show. I do have questions. I do have concerns about the main roster debut, finally, of one of my favorite WWE superstars for 2016. The one man that I've been praising up and down all year round, and that is the Destroyer, the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. Finally making his WWE main roster debut. He is now a part of Monday Night Raw. One thing I want to throw out there, with all the rumors circulating that Samoa Joe will be going one-on-one with John Cena at WrestleMania 33, possibly for the WWE Championship, possibly entering the Elimination Chamber after that match is over and done with, and attacking John Cena, that now looks to be off the table. So my question is, if Samoa Joe is on Monday Night Raw, what the fuck is John Cena going to be doing at WrestleMania? Are we really going to get John Cena versus Randy Orton now? After that I really expressed on the Royal Rumble review that we weren't going to get it, and that WWE can't be this fucking uncreative going into WrestleMania 33 to give us a feud and a match between two guys in 2017 that we've seen up and down for the better part of a decade and a half. I don't want to see it. So with Joe on Raw now, what does this mean for SmackDown's main event? And if it is ended up being Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship, I beg to question, what is John Cena going to be doing at WrestleMania 33? I don't know. I honestly do not know, and I'm going to stick to my instinct here. I honestly believe that WWE does not have plans in place for WrestleMania. I honestly think that they are booking this week by week because they are so fucking conflicted. They are so torn about what to do right now. The other question is that I have running through my mind after watching this brilliant segment tonight with Samoa Joe. If he is indeed now the henchman for Triple H, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Clearly this means that Rollins has an opponent lined up now for Fastlane. Finally, one match at the show in 1 month that I am going to fucking be completely invested in. But what does this mean for Samoa Joe? Does he go into Fastlane and automatically lose his first match? I mean, why would you set someone like that up to lose his first big pay-per-view match? Because if they are headed towards Seth Rollins versus Triple H, why on God's green earth would you have Seth Rollins lose going into WrestleMania? Doesn't make any sense to me. It honestly does not make any sense to me. So that's also running through my head. Do we see Triple H and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? I say yes, but is it out of the question to think that WWE would hold off on this match until the summer and blow it off at SummerSlam? I don't know. Maybe give Joe a win or two over Rollins. I don't know what's going on. It's very, very confusing. I'm glad that Samoa Joe did not debut at the Royal... Actually, I'm not going to say that. I wanted him in the Royal Rumble. I wanted him to win the fucking Royal Rumble. But you got to think of it logically. If Joe was going to be in the Royal Rumble, more than likely he was going to have to win it. Because I don't see anybody eliminating that type of man in the Royal Rumble. I just don't. But I'm glad that they saved him for a major storyline. I'm glad that they saved him for this. Because it spotlights him and it gets him into something big immediately. Joe is a big money player. He needs to be in a big money program. And he's going to be an absolute game changer for Monday Night Raw. I just hope, I fucking pray, that Monday Night Raw does not do Joe wrong. This is the type of guy that it doesn't take a whole creative team to fucking book for. This is one of the most simplest fucking situations that just landed in your lap on Monday Night Raw. Joe is big. Joe can fight. Joe can wrestle. Joe is tough. Joe beats the fuck out of people. That's all you gotta do. Give this man a microphone. No bullshit. Have him come to the ring. Kick ass. Leave. Now the funny thing is, another thing I'm thinking about, Joe and Lesnar are on the same brand. That's interesting. There's a lot of positives that are coming out of Joe being on Monday Night Raw. Instantly, he makes the main event scene credible. Instantly. Balor coming back. Balor versus Joe. Roman Reigns. Even though I can't fucking stand the way WWE has booked him creatively, Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe is a very intriguing match. Joe versus Lesnar that I just previously mentioned. Joe versus Strowman. Joe versus Owens. You got a lot of different opportunities there. And we're seeing the first here with Joe versus Rollins. I'm liking it. I would have much rather have him be on SmackDown. But realistically, you can't have everybody go to SmackDown because WWE is not going to overload SmackDown with all this fucking talent and then just skimp on Monday Night Raw. Joe goes to Raw. Nakamura, more than likely, going to SmackDown because he is the next one to be brought up. And that's going to happen within 2017. And when it does, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to SmackDown. So you got to evenly pretty much divide and disperse the talent evenly and equally from NXT. I loved what happened tonight. I really did. Triple H, again, proving to you all that he's not only one of the best of all time, but he's one of the greatest promos in WWE history, man. There's really nobody on that roster outside of John Cena that really is going to step it up in terms of a big game situation with that microphone and really put that type of emotion into a program like Triple H does, man. He was fantastic. I'm finally happy that we seen Triple H on Monday Night Raw, and it was a great promo. It was about pretty much, Triple H creating who Seth Rollins pretty much is. That he gave Seth Rollins the world. Triple H gave Rollins everything, and he wanted to walk away from everything that Triple H gave him. And then Rollins, he mentioned, walked into NXT TakeOver, and he infiltrated and messed with his creation. Triple H was at work creating. And Rollins, disrespecting Triple H, went to his job, went to NXT, disrupted his creation, while Triple H was busy trying to build and mold the next Seth Rollins. He was trying to create the next Seth Rollins, and Rollins wants to disrupt that. I thought it was fantastic. He said that he doesn't want to be that guy again. He doesn't want to be the cerebral assassin. He doesn't want to put on the tights. He doesn't want to get in the ring and hurt people anymore because of Stephanie McMahon, thinks it's best for business to not get in the ring. Triple H said that he should not apologize to Rollins for his actions. He says that he doesn't want to be that guy, the guy who ends careers and crushes dreams. Triple H then demanded Seth Rollins to get out here and meet his destroyer. Rollins came out to his theme music, stood at the ramp, walked down the aisle as soon as he got to the ringside area. Samoa Joe, like a fucking freight train, blindsided him and fucking beat the living shit out of Seth Rollins. Joe beat him down on the outside, several senton splashes. He got the coquina clutch on him, or a rear naked choke on him. It was fucking beautiful. And Joe stands tall at the end of Monday Night Raw, making his Raw debut. Finally, a long time coming for Samoa Joe, and I can't wait to see what they do with Joe on Monday Night Raw. I am just worried now that Joe is merely going to be used as an in-between, a stopgap, a fucking piss break for Seth Rollins on the road to WrestleMania as he gets to Triple H. I honestly don't know if that is the right way to book Joe. I am scared that they might have Rollins beat Joe at Fastlane if this is the direction that they're going in. I am not for that. Joe is one of those guys that I just cannot see losing for a very long time. So I honestly don't know how they are going to book this. And right now, still, even after the Royal Rumble, we have more questions than we do answers as it concerns WrestleMania. What is Joe going to be doing at WrestleMania? Is he going to have a match? Is he merely going to be in the corner of Triple H as he takes on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in Orlando? Is Joe going to lose to Rollins at Fastlane? What is going to happen with SmackDown now? This is really affecting both brands with this move. Are we going to get Cena versus Orton at WrestleMania for the fucking 97th time? What's going to happen with Cena if he loses the title and we get Bray Wyatt, that is being rumored, versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship? What is going to happen there? Are we going to get a fatal four-way at WrestleMania between Cena, Styles, Orton, and Wyatt for the WWE Championship? I honestly don't know where they're going with this. We still don't even know what's happening with The Undertaker. Because after last night in the Royal Rumble, he's like, we have unfinished business to Roman Reigns, as Roman Reigns was eliminated him. So, mix that with the Strowman situation, it's really all over the fucking place. I have more questions now than we do answers. I guess when the way you look at it, it's not that much of a bad thing. But it's like WWE, I'm hoping, has plans, and I can't wait to see them play out. But I just have this weird fucking feeling that WWE doesn't know what they want to do, and plans are changing by the hour for WrestleMania, and you're 62 days away from this event. So I don't know what's going to happen here. But Joe making his main roster debut, you have no idea how much of a game changer he is, not for that brand, not only for that brand, but for the main event scene. Joe is going to fucking dominate Monday Night Raw. I don't want to get ahead of myself because he is on Monday Night Raw, but Joe is a legit game changer. I'm happy for him. I can't wait to see him. He now gives everybody an instant segment on the show that is going to be can't miss. Joe is a must-see superstar. And I do not say that about many people, because I'm a picky motherfucker. But I know talent, and I know someone who plays his role absolutely beautifully. Joe is that man. I cannot speak any more highly about Samoa Joe than I have already. I can't wait to see what happens, and this is brilliant. The funny thing is, I heard this scenario pitched again by Solomonster today on his Royal Rumble review. I didn't think they were going to go through with it. It actually came to fruition tonight, and Samoa Joe made his main roster debut on Monday Night Raw. Absolutely fantastic segment. Loved every minute of it. And honestly, besides the opening of this show, and again, Monday Night Raw is the same thing every fucking week. It's the beginning and the end, and everything in between is absolutely fucking missable. So if you guys watch Monday Night Raw at the start of the 8 o'clock hour and you want to take a 2.5 hour nap and wake up at 10:45 right before the ending of the show, you could pretty much do that and not miss a goddamn thing, because all you need to see is the beginning and the end for a 3-hour show. It's not the way it's supposed to be, but that's the way we get, or that's what we get on Monday Night Raw. The show itself was from Laredo, Texas, at the Laredo Energy Arena. Honestly, there was no energy in the arena. This crowd was fucking dead for most of the night. And who can blame them? After last night's disappointment, why would you have any energy going into Monday Night Raw? All the energy in the entire state of Texas was fucking sucked from the state when number 30 hit and that music went off in the Royal Rumble. Still, the crowd has not recovered. The state has not recovered from Roman Reigns. Anyway, Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens come out, and Jericho brags that he was the 61-minute man in the Royal Rumble. He was the 61-minute man that rested and slept for 51 minutes of his time in the Royal Rumble. So, you know, they could brag about being a 61-minute man. You're not going to get that one over on me, man. You're really not. Because that's a lame way to say I lasted longer than anybody. I hate that shit. And I'm not standing for that. That's a tainted 61-minute mark in the Royal Rumble. I don't give a shit who you are. 61 minutes, and he slept 51 minutes of it. Braun Strowman walked out as Owens was proclaiming that he's still the Universal Champion, that he's the greatest of all time. Jericho proclaiming that he's the greatest Royal Rumble competitor of all time. You know, pretty much stating the fact that he's got a total of 5 hours plus in the Royal Rumble. And Owens, surprisingly, still the Universal Champion. But Braun Strowman comes out and proclaims that Owens promised him a Universal Championship. Now, kudos to WWE for bringing up a clip from a few weeks ago with Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman here. I didn't know what they were talking about until Braun Strowman pointed to the Titantron and showed everybody exactly what he was talking about. I thought maybe that they had something that they filmed that we didn't see at the Royal Rumble, in which Kevin Owens kind of made a deal with Braun Strowman that he would give him a title shot if he interfered in the match at the Royal Rumble to help him beat Roman Reigns. But this was a few weeks ago, and Kevin Owens was saying that, listen, if we take out Roman Reigns as a team, I think it was probably during that 6-man tag that we seen a couple weeks ago. If we take out Roman Reigns, that would make you the next in line for the Universal Championship. And Braun Strowman took that to heart. They took out Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is now a non-factor in the Universal Championship per se. And Braun Strowman said, listen, we took out Roman Reigns. Now I am promised a Universal Championship, and I want my match tonight. So that was the footage that they showed. Mick Foley walked out. He looked like the fucking... He looked like the Riddler. Well, I don't know what the fuck this guy was wearing, dude. Holy shit. I mean, if Foley is okay with what he's wearing, God bless him, dude. But it looks like he fucking got dressed in the dark. He was fucking in the dark and he picked out something out of his closet. He didn't give a fuck what it was because he was running late. He put it on and he was okay with that, man. I don't know what the fuck he was wearing. What do you call that? Holy shit. Awful, awful, awful outfit by Mick Foley. Horrible looking suit. Foley said that Owens promised him a title match. So he's agreeing with Braun Strowman. Owens said that Foley can't do this to him. And he came out all taped up. He was limping. He was battered. He was bruised. He was complaining that after the hell that I went through, and you know about going through hell, why are you going to put me in a match with Braun Strowman? This is not fair. So Foley announces Owens versus Strowman for the Universal Championship tonight on Monday Night Raw. So that is one of our main events for tonight's show. Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn. This was probably the best match of the evening. And Sami Zayn, if he wins this match against Chris Jericho, he would be in line for a U.S. title shot. So, again, WWE going back to their typical illogical booking. Let me beat the champion, and then I get a title shot. So, one of your main champions needs to lose to get the challenger a title shot. Instead of working through the mid-card, which is non-existent, this is the only logical thing that WWE has in front of them to book for the mid-card. I wish Sami Zayn had competition so he could beat a guy here and beat a guy there and eventually get to Chris Jericho, become a number one contender, and then fight for the title. No, but they put Zayn in a match with Jericho, have the United States champion lose on television, your champion lose on television, and then Sami Zayn is promised a future title shot. So fucking stupid, man. That's a way you kill your champion, and that's a way you kill your mid-card title. Not really the best solution here for Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn. But it was a decent match, and Sami Zayn got the win here. He hit the haluva kick in the corner. Typical spots. Very, very good match, wrestling-wise. Sami Zayn sold his back in this match. He hit his Blue Thunder Bomb. He hit all his big moves, near fall after near fall. And at one point, Jericho had the walls of Jericho on him. Like I said, Sami sold the back. In the end, it was the haluva kick for the win. So Sami Zayn now beat Chris Jericho on Monday Night Raw and is in line for a future United States Championship match. I just wish they would have went about this in a completely different way. But, leave it to Monday Night Raw. This is Raw. You're expecting something of logic to come out of this show? They use the same guys over and over and over again, and they get nowhere. They just continue to make mistakes like this. So it's just the same shit over and over again, man. I'm not surprised that the creative writing team continues to fucking book bullshit like this. Sheamus and Cesaro and Bayley, they set up a match with those three against Anderson, Gallows, and Charlotte Flair later on in the night. 6-person tag team match. Something that I really do not care about. I really don't. Stephanie McMahon and Owens are shown talking in the back. Owens was upset that he had to defend the title tonight. He said that he is hurt and that he can't wrestle Braun Strowman. She said that she would talk to Foley about getting the match canceled. So that was that. Mustafa Ali versus Tony Nese. There's a rumor going around that... Actually, I'm going to read you the rumor right now. Being that we are here doing this review. And this is coming from Wrestling News World. This is about the cruiserweights on Monday Night Raw. And it's the typical fucking shit that you've been hearing, but it's continuously being reported. Vince McMahon is very unhappy with how the cruiserweights are getting over on Raw. He has told the writers that if the ratings for their segments do not improve, He wants to cut back to just one cruiserweight match on Mondays instead of the usual 2, sometimes 3. The time given for the matches have already been cut down. 205 Live is safe, as that is one of Triple H's babies, but Vince made it clear that he has no problem with eliminating the cruiserweights on Monday Night Raw completely. The cruiserweights can simply exist on 205 Live as an exclusive to the network and exclusive to that brand if he continues to see the dip in the ratings when they are on Raw. It wasn't long ago that there were plans to have a second cruiserweight division. I actually reported that on Off The Script. There were plans for a second cruiserweight division on SmackDown if things went well on Raw. Clearly, that is not the case anymore. That idea is completely scrapped, and the Raw division is under the microscope heavily right now for all the wrong reasons. Well, Vince McMahon has nobody to blame but himself. Honestly, Vince McMahon has nobody to blame but himself about the cruiserweights getting over. How many times have we expressed what needs to be done and WWE doesn't do what needs to be done with these guys? Okay? They finally gave Neville an outlet to show his talent. They gave Neville the Cruiserweight Championship. They gave Neville the fucking steering wheel to lead this division. And now they want to cut back to one segment on Monday Night Raw. One segment on Monday Night Raw. So that means the Cruiserweights will get from anywhere of 2 to 4 minutes on Monday Night Raw. Because you know they don't want to fucking do anything with the Cruiserweights on Raw. Everybody in the back, creative writing, McMahon, Dunn, all these guys, they could give 2 shits about the Cruiserweight division. It's simply there. It simply exists on Monday Night Raw right now to build for 205 Live. Because Monday Night Raw is the most watched program that WWE has during the week. They figured, well, if they see the Cruiserweights on Raw, then people will watch it after SmackDown on Tuesday nights on the network. That's not the case. It hasn't worked out. And it hasn't worked out since week 1. After they debuted on that first week, this division was doomed from the get-go because you handcuffed these guys and you fucking grounded them and you have them wrestling a boring, generic Monday Night Raw style match. Meanwhile, this was supposed to be a fucking infection to Monday Night Raw to generate some fucking buzz, to get the momentum going, to give me a different fucking vibe, at least with 1 or 2 segments on this show, and you have not done that. I want to see flips. I want to see I want to see these guys do what they did in the Cruiserweight Classic that made that so special. How many times can I fucking reiterate that to you guys? If you let these guys go and do what they're supposed to do, it would have gotten over week after week after week. You cannot tell a story. You cannot get someone like Tony Nese over in 2 fucking minutes and handcuff him and not have him do what he's known to be doing. Give me a break. Every fucking segment that is a Cruiserweight segment on this show since week 1 has been completely fucking skippable. And Vince McMahon is to blame for that. Completely delusional and completely out of his mind, fucking senile, out of touch with what Triple H is doing. It's like they're on 2 different fucking pages. Get on the same page and listen to what your fucking son-in-law is doing. There's a reason why he put so much stock in these guys. He didn't put all this stock in them to have them fucking die on Monday Night Raw. He believes in these guys. You should own up to yourself and fucking step outside that fucking bubble and realize that there are others out there. There's other talent out there that could excite your crowd on Monday night. That could bring something different. Something that is missing to Monday Night Raw. No, you want to bring in everybody from the outside and fucking label them as Monday Night Raw and have them die a slow, painful death. And that's exactly what happened to the Cruiserweights. So your Mustafa Ali's, your Tony Nese's, your Drew Gulak's, your fucking Grand Metalik's, who we've never seen besides week 1, your TJ Perkins, your Brian Kendricks, your Cedric Alexanders, they're all wasted. They are all wasted. And I said it, and I said it, and I said it week after week after week. You put a Kota Ibushi, Cedric Alexander type match on Monday Night Raw and you let those guys go and do what they did at the Cruiserweight Classic on Raw, there's no way you can look me in the fucking face and tell me that those guys won't get over. Cedric Alexander gave himself a WWE contract because of that fucking match. There's no way you can tell me and look me straight in the face that if that kind of match happened on Monday Night Raw and they were given the time and the freedom to do that on this show, that they would not get over. This is a fucking waste. And it really, really frustrates me how misutilized talent is on a 3-hour show and you're just making them like everything else on this show. Completely fucking robotic, generic, stale, boring. It's a fucking shame. Absolute fucking shame. Seth Rollins and Stephanie McMahon had the segment here calling out Triple H, which led to the attack by Samoa Joe and Triple H pretty much getting in the face of Seth Rollins and having Joe do his dirty work. Seth Rollins said that he was at TakeOver. He wanted Triple H. He figured that he would go to where he knew Triple H was going to be. All right? McMahon said that Triple H wasn't going to be here on the show. Rollins doesn't care that she is out here. If Triple H isn't here, then she could let him off the leash. McMahon said that Triple H is afraid to let out his darkness and that she told him to stay away. McMahon pointed out that Rollins was banned at the Royal Rumble. That was the reason why we didn't see Rollins at the Royal Rumble, because of his actions at TakeOver San Antonio. He was banned from the Royal Rumble by McMahon and Triple H. Okay? So he was banned from the Royal Rumble, and he should beg them for forgiveness. Stephanie McMahon wants an apology. Rollins apologized for showing Triple H as a gutless snake and ruining his legacy. Rollins said that he called out Triple H, but Triple H had his security goons do all his work. Rollins said that is not the game, but rather a scared man, because he is the greatest threat to have ever stepped face-to-face with Triple H's legacy. McMahon said that he disgusted her, said that Rollins would be the reason for his own demise. Rollins then threatened to show up at WWE headquarters, or he even threatened to show up at Triple H's house and ask Stephanie McMahon, what if I come to your house and knock on the front door and one of your kids answers the door? I didn't think they'd go there, but they did. Bringing the family into it. Gotta love it, man. You bring just a dose of real life into it. You bring that really personal aspect to it. It's going to enhance the feud. Can't really blame Seth Rollins for saying that type of stuff here. I'm all for it, man. If it's going to build this and get this feud to the intensity level that it needs to be, I'm all for it. Rollins vowed that he would not stop until Triple H gets to the building and that he will get to Triple H, and eventually he said that he would slay the king. McMahon said that she lied right to Rollins tonight, that Triple H is coming and that he's coming for Seth Rollins. So Triple H, obviously, as we just talked about in the beginning of this video, Rollins was met with Triple H, and he was also met with his destroyer. So it's going to be very interesting. Samoa Joe adds a nice little intriguing element to all of this. And I know this feud has been absent for about 7 months now, but they're really picking it back up quite nicely, man. It's not at the level where it should have been. That 7-month layoff really hurt. It still doesn't make any sense, but they're trying to make the best of it. I appreciate the effort, and Samoa Joe being thrusted into this feud really adds a nice little element of intrigue and intensity, man. So I commend WWE for trying to build this back up to where it should have been. It might fall a little bit short, but listen, they're doing a very, very good job with this right now, and I got to give them credit. Bayley, Cesaro, and Sheamus versus Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Charlotte Flair. 2 matches at the pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble the night before, that were just pretty much mixed together to make a 6-person tag. 2 matches at the Royal Rumble I clearly did not give a shit about. Anderson and Gallows won the Raw Tag Team Championships 7 months too late. I don't give a shit. Go figure. They win the championships, finally, and at this point, I don't care. There's no division. They have been wasted. They have been miscast. They've been underutilized on Monday Night Raw. They finally win the titles, and I'm just sitting here. Everybody's tweeting me, JD, the club won the tag team titles. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Bayley and Charlotte, they had a decent match. Nothing that's going to fucking burn the building down at the Royal Rumble. But typical WWE booking. Charlotte's a monster on pay-per-view. Charlotte's the women's champion. She gets right back to Monday Night Raw. She takes the pin from Bayley. She loses on Monday Night Raw. Typical WWE booking. Same old garbage. Charlotte's got 16 wins in a row on pay-per-view. Bayley beats her on Monday Night Raw. The same shit. Rinse and repeat. Same thing happened with Sasha. Sasha Banks. Sasha couldn't beat her on pay-per-view. When they get to Monday Night Raw, Sasha was a completely different fucking person. Beat Flair 1, 2, 3. Nothing's changed, and they're picking up the same thing with Bayley. Garbage. Totally did not care about this match. Bayley, Cesaro, and Sheamus win the 6-man tag. Neville comes down to the ring, says that this is his coronation. The belt, the new Cruiserweight champion, the title is his crown, and he's going to be the face of the Cruiserweight division. He was already that before he won the title. Now it's official. Rich Swann said that Neville is one of the very best, and he has respect for that. And Swann turned his back almost like a troll job. Neville, it looked very botchy. It looked very, very off. Whatever happened here with Neville and Rich Swann on this show looked very off. I did not buy into it whatsoever. Like I said on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view review, Neville is going to be a very, very dominant heel champion. I don't see anybody on that 205 Live roster right now built up enough to take down Neville. Rich Swann is great. He's one of my favorites coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic. TJ Perkins was as well. I just don't see anybody on that roster right now that's even going to compete with Neville. You can build up Cedric Alexander. They seem to have miscast him coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic, but they're going to have to do a very, very good job at making me believe anybody can stand toe-to-toe with Neville, because his work has outshined literally everybody that originally debuted with that Cruiserweight division. Neville was a late entry into the Cruiserweight division, and he seemingly overtook the entire fucking show. He is leaps and bounds better than everybody. So I don't know if there's anybody on that roster right now that's going to be standing toe-to-toe with him. People are saying Austin Aries, but that's not going to work. That's a heel. Austin Aries is a great heel. I don't think there's anybody right now, unless they go outside the WWE to bring in an outsider to challenge Neville. Gonna have to wait and see, but I didn't like this segment. It came off very sloppy, and it looks like they're building Neville versus Rich Swann again for the rematch, as Swann did say that he has a rematch waiting for him. Sasha and Bayley had a segment after Bayley's 6-man tag with the team of Cesaro and Sheamus against Anderson Gallows and Charlotte Flair. There was a backstage segment here where Sasha Banks was being attended to by the trainer. They were taping up her knee. She was getting ready for a match against Nia Jax again. And Sasha seemed very, very frustrated. Bayley said, listen, don't go into this match with Nia. You don't have to fucking go out there and prove anything. You know, take the match when you're 100% healthy, when your knee is all better. You're a 3-time women's champion. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. But Banks thinks different, and she says that she has something to prove because she doesn't want to come up short. And she said it in a very, get the fuck out of my way tone. Don't tell me what to do tone. So, if they continue building up Sasha Banks the way that they are, I could find some interest in her, because right now she's ice fucking cold, man. I said it at the Royal Rumble review that I did last night. Her stock has fucking crashed on Monday Night Raw. She is in need of desperate momentum. I don't know what's happening here, but if they continue building this slowly and mounting this frustration on Sasha, that's a perfect fucking recipe to turn her heel. And when Bayley wins the championship from Charlotte, Sasha is going to reach that boiling point where she's like, fuck this shit. I'm tired of being nice. You want to see the fucking boss that everybody fell in love with in NXT? I'm back. That's a perfect opportunity to turn her heel. Sasha as a babyface did not work. It was great for the first couple of weeks. getting into this women's revolution, as it went on, it just lost its appeal. Sasha does her best work when she's a fucking heel. If you guys remember that little Bailey girl that I keep forgetting her name. Izzy, I believe her name is. During the Iron Man match, she made Izzy cry by taking her fucking Bailey bandana off. That's the Sasha that I want. That's the Sasha that we all loved and respected. That's the Sasha we paid attention to. This Sasha, as soon as she got to Monday Night Raw, as always with everybody, they step foot onto that stage on Monday Night Raw, their stock is fucking crashed. It's like you fucking go to the car dealership. You buy a new car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it's fucking worth half the price. Devalued. As soon as you step onto Monday Night Raw, it's like you're driving a new car off the fucking lot. Devalued. And that's what happened to Sasha Banks. Awful. She needs momentum. Honestly, a move to SmackDown would benefit her the most. But listen, turn her heel. I like what they're doing. They're teasing it. It needs to happen. That'll freshen up Sasha. No question. We had the Universal Championship match here with Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. Strowman was promised a match from Mick Foley. It actually took place. Owens was being forced by, or I should say, Jericho was being forced by Owens to protect him, to watch his back against Braun Strowman because he's hurt. He's hurt, which I'll make mention of in a second. Because if you have the match that Owens had last night, I know Owens didn't wrestle himself. There was somebody else in that match that took a beating just as bad as Kevin Owens. But Roman Reigns comes out without a fucking mark on his body. No bandages, no tape, no limp, no fucking knee brace, no nothing. Comes out as if he walked into the fucking car wash and got a nice fucking polish. Nothing. Meanwhile, Kevin Owens has got his fucking arm taped and his wrist taped and he's fucking limping. You know, the guy's fucking got bruises all over his face. Guy looks like he just fucking went through a goddamn war. But Roman Reigns comes out. They can't make him look weak, right? They gotta make him look like Superman. Even in appearance, they gotta make him look strong. What good is it for the storytelling of this match and from the outcome of this match from the Royal Rumble if you're going to have one guy come out completely fucking selling his injuries and the other guy not selling a goddamn fucking... What the fuck is wrong with these people? How am I supposed to believe in anything if you're not taking the appropriate steps to tell a good story? Are they out of their fucking mind? And then they wonder why people hate Roman Reigns. It's because you do whatever you can to get this guy over as the fucking almost untouchable fucking human being on the face of the earth. Bullshit. Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. Jericho came out. He sat by the announce table. He was going to be on commentary for this match. Owens was in the ring. Braun Strowman. He walks down the aisle, stops at the top of the ramp. He looks at Chris Jericho on the fucking announce table, and Braun Strowman, being the beast that he is, runs like a fucking freight train at Chris Jericho, boots him in the fucking chest, and then chokeslams him through the announce table. So clearly, Jericho was going to be a non-factor in this match. Trainers and officials carried him off to the back. He never came back out. Match really was not all that because we all expected Mr. No Man Gaines to come out and ruin the fucking match after Strowman ruined his opportunity last night at the Universal Championship. So Roman Reigns comes down, like I said, without a fucking mark on his body, no tape, no fucking crutch, no limp, nothing, no bruises, nothing. He comes in, he hits a Superman punch on Strowman, Reigns clotheslines him over the fucking top rope, another Superman punch, then he spears him off the fucking steps, uses the steps as a catapult onto Strowman, spears him on the outside, gets back in the ring, spears Owens. As if nothing happened last night at the Royal Rumble. Back to fucking booking Roman Reigns as the most unstoppable force in the fucking history of this company. Sickening. Nauseating. So where do we go from here? It looks like I'm hearing, and here's another piece of information for you. We're going to read this right here. Another fucking piece of news here on Monday Night Raw Review. Progressing storylines forward from the Royal Rumble and beyond. Speaking of Roman Reigns is expected to feud with Braun Strowman in a stopgap program to a match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. It would appear there are a change in plans for Reigns to challenge for the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania, as it now looks as though it will be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar competing for that title. Goldberg is expected to feud with Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship, culminating in a main event match at Fastlane in March. The plan, of course, is for him to defeat Kevin Owens for the title and defend it at WrestleMania in a rematch against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33. The plan going back to before the Royal Rumble was for neither Owens or AJ Styles to defend their world titles at WrestleMania 33. Half of that equation lost their title last night to John Cena, so now it's just a waiting game to see if Owens is indeed going to lose his title to, like I mentioned, Bill Goldberg. No word on what happened to Reigns challenging for the title at WrestleMania, but the word coming out of the Royal Rumble was that he'd be facing Strowman at Fastlane and then Undertaker at WrestleMania. As for Goldberg, the source heard it's Owens and then Lesnar. I don't know if I agree with that. And like I mentioned already, it looks like WWE is giving us the worst of the fucking possible WrestleMania cards concocted. You know, I don't know what they're doing with John Cena. I don't know what the fuck their plan is for the WWE Championship. I don't know where the fuck Finn Balor's going to fit into all this. He is medically cleared. Balor is medically cleared to come back to the WWE. When he reemerges, I don't know. They might not even book him for WrestleMania, which would be a fucking shame that he came back and he's cleared and he's not going to be in a program for WrestleMania. Do they do Owens and Balor? I don't know. Because they could really fast-track the Owens versus Jericho feud for Fastlane if they wanted. They could have Owens run through Jericho and then defend the title against Balor and have Balor win his title back at WrestleMania. But it looks like Balor may not even be on the fucking card for WrestleMania. No, but they want to book Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker instead of giving me Finn Balor versus The Undertaker. At this point, I would have rather had Roman Reigns keep the United States Championship. At least a match with Braun Strowman would have been a great match to catapult Braun Strowman into that next level by beating Roman for the United States Championship. No, but they didn't think that was a good idea, though. I thought that would have been a great undercard match, a match to highlight the United States Championship at WrestleMania. You give me Undertaker versus Finn Balor. You give me AJ Styles versus The Undertaker or something like that. I don't know. Something. Cena versus Undertaker or Styles versus McMahon like they had previously fucking mentioned. Then you got Goldberg versus Lesnar. Triple H versus Rollins. No, but they want to give us the worst of the fucking possible WrestleMania cards. The WrestleMania cards that include Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker and fucking John Cena versus Randy Orton right now. Listen, everybody stated it. Everybody stated it on their review. You went to bed last night. You put your head in your fucking pillow. And the main event for WrestleMania right now is John Cena versus Randy Orton in 2017. Yet, I don't have a ticket for WrestleMania yet. At this point, I don't even want one. At this point, I don't even want one. That's how fucking terrible WWE is right now. And still, they don't have a fucking plan or a end point for WrestleMania. Week to week, hour by hour. Everything is changing. So Roman Reigns comes in, interferes. Kevin Owens retains the title due to outside interference. They're building towards Roman versus Braun at Fastlane. How Bill Goldberg gets to Kevin Owens and the Universal Championship remains to be seen. But he is going to be on Monday Night Raw next week. This brings me to Paul Heyman. This brings me to Brock Lesnar. They mysteriously came out of a limo. I didn't expect Brock Lesnar to be here tonight, but reports are saying that he will be booked on the majority of Monday Night Raws except for one leading to WrestleMania. So he is going to be earning his pay. Goldberg chants started. Heyman thanked them for their irrelevant opinion. Heyman said that they are at a moment in time where one legend has an opponent they cannot beat. Heyman brought up Andre the Giant, being undefeated for 15 years. He lost to Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3. Ronda Rousey ran through the women's division in UFC. Lost to Holly Holm. Undertaker had a WrestleMania streak that will never be touched. That was broken by Brock Lesnar. John Cena losing to Lesnar and Angle, who's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, lost to Lesnar. Heyman said that anytime he goes to his kids and tells them that he advocates for Brock Lesnar, they tell him that Goldberg beat Lesnar in 1:26 seconds. Yeah, but I can say the same thing about Monday Night Raw. Yeah, but Roman Reigns sucks cock. Yeah, but Kevin Dunn has 2 overly large fucking teeth. I could tell you, yeah, but Kevin Owens is the worst Universal fucking champion of all time. Yeah, but Monday Night Raw is a fucking piece of shit every Monday night. Goes hand in hand with everything. Yeah, but you can fucking put anything at the end of yeah, but, you know. But that's what Lesnar and Heyman were trying to get across. Heyman says that he hates yeah, but, as this is the worst thing to say to the greats. Heyman said that Lesnar needs to be an end to that and thereby challenges Goldberg. So they automatically got this right out of the gate. Lesnar challenging Goldberg, and Lesnar even pointed to the WrestleMania logo. He wants Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. Heyman said that this would be one final fight to end their story. Heyman said that the odds are in Goldberg's favor. Yeah, but. And drops the microphone. Now, after what I just read you with the rumor, Goldberg is going to be on Monday Night Raw next week. Heyman said that he wants Lesnar's legacy. I'm assuming what he meant is he wants Lesnar's legacy to be that. He wants to rebuild his legacy. He wants to be proud of his legacy. Goldberg is building a legacy 12 years later in WWE. He's come back. He beat Brock Lesnar in 90 seconds. He eliminated Brock Lesnar from the Royal Rumble fairly easily on Sunday night. Who's to say that Goldberg doesn't keep up on this angle? Who's to say Goldberg doesn't keep up on this momentum and comes out and outwardly challenges? Listen, I have destroyed Lesnar at every opportunity. I want to take this to the next level. I am challenging Kevin Owens. I want a shot at the Universal title, and Mick Foley's going to go ahead and book it. So we could very well get Goldberg versus Kevin Owens at Fastlane for the Universal title. Goldberg dropping Owens in fucking 2 minutes, and we're getting a main event at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship of Lesnar versus Goldberg. Now, I don't know. I'm not for that at all. I mean, I just don't care. I don't want to see a 50-year-old Goldberg, the head champion on Monday Night Raw. But if you think about it, what better way for Brock Lesnar to get his legacy back than to not only beat Goldberg at WrestleMania in their final match, but win the Universal Championship? That would get Brock Lesnar back to the level that he was previously. I don't know. It's definitely possible. It's being talked about. It's been talked about for weeks now. I honestly could see it happening. I hope not. But we're going to find out next week if Goldberg is going to build upon this legacy and take it a step further and challenge for WWE's biggest prize on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. Very interesting. Texas Tornado match. I wish the Tornado would have fucking swept me away. Actually, it did, because I didn't give a fuck about this match at all. I was actually playing that WWE Champions game that I downloaded on my iPhone, man. It's fucking addictive as fuck. So, I had my head in my phone during this entire match. I don't care who won. Enzo and Big Cass won, apparently, on my notes here. Who cares? Who cares? We got this. How many weeks now? Do they really think anybody cares about these fucking 4 guys? Give me a break. Come on. And that was the end right before Samoa Joe came out and destroyed Seth Rollins. So, Monday Night Raw, as you can see, started with Sami Zayn and Jericho. And then everything in between was a complete waste of fucking time. And then we get to the end. We got Heyman, who cut a great promo. And then to the end of Triple H and Seth Rollins and the confrontation there where Samoa Joe made his Monday Night Raw debut. That was it. Beginning, end, in the middle, completely missable. So if you guys want to take a fucking 2-hour nap in the middle of Monday Night Raw, by all means, please do so. You're not going to miss anything. And if you do, I got you covered right here on the review. But thank you guys for watching. hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking about Samoa Joe making his main roster debut. What do you think about all the questions I pose to you? Are you guys thinking about the same thing? Are all these questions running through your head? What are they going to do with Joe? Are they going to have Joe lose to Rollins? What's going to happen with this landscape now that Joe is on Monday Night Raw? What's going to happen with SmackDown's main event after all the rumors of Joe and Cena at WrestleMania? I don't know, man. There's a bunch of shit going on right now, and I'm going to keep you updated the best I can. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Please support the sponsors, Audible.com. With audibletrial.com/offthescript for your free audiobook and 30-day free trial of the service. Patreon.com/JD206 if you guys want to support the show and support the podcast. And Barbershop Window if you guys want to get your t-shirts, man. Looking like Roman Reigns and Big Show are going to have big roles at WrestleMania. There's no better way to go to WrestleMania than with a Get Off My TV t-shirt of Roman Reigns and the Big Show. I'm JD. I'm going to get off your fucking computer screens right now and go to sleep because I'm exhausted. But I'll see you guys tomorrow with more great WWE news and rumors. If I hear anything, expect an off-the-script extra video. Until then, take care, have a great night, and we'll see you guys later this week for more great WWE news. I'll talk to you later.